Show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on ya. He got a thing for a Latin. He wanna hear a little Spanish? I told him it ain't practice it. I'm about to fully up the status. Rock with the click and I ain't looking like the side in this. I'm the opposite cause I'm the main event in boxing and it has a time to dickin'. I've been out here playing my position, I'm about to get it. Now ain't no one about to block the hit cause someday I'm gonna love someone to tell me I'm someone.
Hello everybody, I'm Larry Ridley and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we've got a pair of running backs who are hoping for plenty of touches to come their way. It's the Steelers going up against the Chiefs. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Tonight, we've got an AFC matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, as always, he's Charles Davis. And, Charles, we saw in the open, we've got a couple of great running backs in this game tonight, each capable of putting a team on his back.
And I'm excited to talk about the runners, not just the passers, who have a big hand in who's going to win this game. Both of these guys are do it all, can run it, can catch it. I can't wait to get this one started.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. This will be fielded at the 6. Muscles him off. Here comes Big Ben Roethlisberger bringing Pittsburgh out. They'll get ready to go on offense. You look back at his wild card performance. He kind of let his two superstars, Bell and Brown, take over, but the numbers for Roethlisberger, 13 of 18, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Isn't that what a good quarterback does?
It is.
A good point guard, dish it out to the guys who can finish. How about Antonio Brown get him off to a roaring start? 2 long touchdowns in his first 3 catches.
How about the boot that Big Ben was wearing after the game? Concerned?
I'm not. I think it's precautionary, and Big Ben will take that first snap in the next playoff game.
Sammy Coates, the intended target there, and that'll bring up second down. Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Rolling to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep. And this is taken in at the 5. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 52 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So as Kansas City takes the field, let's discuss Alex Smith. Charles finished with a career-high 3,500 passing yards this season. Has him at 12 wins. They will host Pittsburgh in the divisional round. Are they thinking back to that Week 4 loss to Pittsburgh? Because Pittsburgh really handled them in that game.
They're going to acknowledge it, And then they're going to shove it aside because that was so far in the background that it doesn't matter to them anymore. They just want to go forward. And how about Alex Smith? This is a great chance for him against Ben Roethlisberger to really make a splash on the big stage of the playoffs.
A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
To throw on second down is Smith. It's brought in by Harris. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And certainly a key cog in this offensive wheel is Jeremy Maclin.
You've just got to find ways to get him the ball, whether you put him in the slot or put him out on the perimeter. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. Yeah. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. From the gun, here's Smith. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So on 4th down, Dustin Colquitt to punt for KC. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. With it is Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now let's shift our attention back to the Pittsburgh offense. They had, as we mentioned earlier, Roethlisberger, Bell, Brown all out there for the playoff win. Those guys had all had a week off, and they had mentioned, you heard this during the broadcast, they were already preparing for Miami before they knew that was definitely the opponent.
When you have that luxury of knowing you're locked into your spot in the playoffs, you can do that sort of thing. As you mentioned, they rested their big guys against Cleveland. So the week of practice against the Browns, they worked against them, but they also started to look ahead and added in periods or used certain periods to prepare for the Dolphins and maybe another opponent they thought they might get. That's just good planning by Mike Tomlin, the head coach.
It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker. Plenty of time left in this game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Stephon Tuitt's ability to play defensive end and yet rise up and knock passes away when quarterbacks try to throw them, he makes it hard to get around.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He's got time. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. James Harrison. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Brown. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And now here comes Kansas City. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Here's Smith. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They run it here. Where? About 3 yards there to the 27. On the stop that time, it's William Gay.
not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, here's Smith. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses we talk to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. For Bell, a Steelers postseason record, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns in the wild card round. And, you know, he just showed such patience waiting for his blockers.
I think it works very well for him that these blockers have been blocking for Big Ben for a number of years. Because you know what they say about him. It's not the first 3 seconds of a pass play. It's the next 3 when he shakes someone off and creates. So they're used to holding blocks and doing something extra. They do the exact same thing for Le'Veon Bell because they know the results can be excellent.
Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
Now Roethlisberger. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there. Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of just for driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? Because that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy-bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there isn't a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
A first carry now. This is Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They run again with Ware. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Out to the right here to Wilson. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs defense, they get set and ready to do battle again. And with a deficit here, they gave up the field goal last time, but with this deficit, Charles, how important is a stop on this drive?
Extremely. And you know that they heard it on the sideline. You know they heard it going out onto the field, and they're telling it to each other. No more points given up. We've got a chance to still get into this game.
As a defensive guy, you kind of like that challenge. So you don't want to be down, but do you like that challenge?
You don't want to be in that position, and you wish you had taken the challenge a little bit earlier. But now, this is it. It has to happen at this point.
And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. This is caught inside the 15.
Pass interference. Defense.
So pass interference, partner with all the rule changes. It is hard to be a defender in the pass game.
Brandon, is tough in college. It's a lot harder in the NFL. You can't touch him after 5 yards downfield. You can't touch him while the ball's not in the air. You can't touch him at all until the ball is at the receiver's hands. Very difficult to be a defender in today's NFL.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the second one.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. He had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. This will be caught just inside the 10. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. To the right side, and he's got Macklin complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
On the run, it's Ware. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on 2nd. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
3rd and long, it's Smith. He's got time in the pocket, and he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Look at the dance and the juke. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. The Chiefs defense getting ready to roll. And they were back in the red zone last time defensively, but they were able to get that 4th down stop.
Gave up no points in a situation where you expect at least 3 to go on the board. I have a feeling that after that stop, maybe a few taunts went across the way that said, maybe next time, guys, you might want to kick it.
We'll see if they can get another stop on this drive.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the
and he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And that score gives them a little more separation and a bigger lead.
A little more of a comfort zone now. They can do more things defensively, maybe take a few more gambles as they try to continue to extend their lead.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. does well now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
On 1st and 10, Smith. His throw incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
On 1st down, Smith. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So we've got a 2nd and 5.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Chris Conley, 43 yards. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown. Oh, this is blocked. It's picked up, a live ball, accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 30. And he dives into the end zone and gets the 2 points. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now Roethlisberger on first down. Over the middle, here to Coates. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling could lead to no yards gained. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in your coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Flush to his right. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack. Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Now Roethlisberger. He finds Coates complete. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. One quarter down, and it's the Steelers with the early lead. And we're back to Arrowhead after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Brown, the lone receiver, left. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. A beautiful fake. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
Make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. They'll run now with Ware. And he'll only get a yard, maybe two, up to the 46. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On the ground, this is Ware. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. James Harrison, the veteran, in on the stop.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll run the option left. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than a ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1
every single time.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Off of play action, here's Smith. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
Jeremy Maclin. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Jeremy Maclin, 54 yards. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, nice move. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup.
Hey, when the playoffs begin, you always find out who's ready to go and who's ready to elevate their game and who the superstars are. And Antonio Brown fits that description big time. How about it? 2 of his first 3 catches, long-distance touchdowns against Miami. He was ready to go.
And remember, he's a Miami kid. He's born down there, but now fully adjusted to the cold temperatures.
Fully adjusted and truly one of the best receivers in the game.
So it'll be first down here after the run.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game. And I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity. As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Here's Roethlisberger. Brought in by Coates. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver from 13 yards out. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Big mistake here by the kicker, kicking it out of bounds.
The one that drives coaches crazy. Keep it in the field of play and let your guys cover.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Smith. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
And Hill with it over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
On 1st and 10, Smith finding time. Conley's got it over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion. To the air again, Smith. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your...
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And it's weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. draws well for the extra point. And the lead will grow by one more. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. It's Hill. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Partner, before the game, we were discussing Aaron Rodgers having Green Bay in the win column for 7 straight games so hot, and I think you have to look at him and Cobb as 2 of the top performers from Wild Card Weekend.
I would agree totally. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. The Hail Mary to Randall Cobb right before the half against the Giants. That really elevated their performance. And Randall Cobb had 5 catches, 116 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Excited to be back on the field after a Week 15 injury. But how about Seattle? Bully ball was back in effect. Thomas Rawls at tailback. Over 160 yards on the ground. He more than set a tone for the Seahawks.
Yeah, those guys shined in the NFC. Again, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And that brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now it's Roethlisberger, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead, it just brings up 4th down. On now the Steelers' second-year punter. This is Australian-born Jordan Berry. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He gets it complete to Harris. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? Five defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll try the air now with Smith. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He hits West underneath. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Second and goal from the 5. They'll run the option left. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it third and goal.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Looked like they had a window to get that in there, but a good job rallying defensively.
Excellent timing, no pass interference. The hit jars it loose, and now they force them into a decision. Do you go for it on 4th down or kick the field goal?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
Escaping the pressure right. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. That'll bring up second down.
Partner, we've got a hot second here. Let's talk about the AFC divisional round matchups because both are rematches from the regular season. Houston did compete very well against New England. I think Jacoby Brissett was playing quarterback for the Patriots. And Kansas City, the same thing against Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh was up big in that ballgame.
Yeah, Pittsburgh rolled 43-14 in that one. And you're right, Brissett started week 3. Pats beat the Texans 27-0. Hard to go against the Patriots. I think the Steelers and Chiefs should be a fun one.
I agree with you totally on that because I think that Kansas City-Pittsburgh game, they're the sleeper for going to the Super Bowl, the winner of that one.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 6 there on the first down play. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arrowhead after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
It's taken to the 26. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Charles, as we look back to the wild card round of the playoffs, flipping on the TV, seeing the cold weather in both Pittsburgh and Green Bay, that just felt right this time of year, didn't it?
It felt right for them. It didn't feel right for me. You know what I did? I actually went and put another set of gloves on, a big overcoat, and then a blanket as I watched them play.
But we got a game in Kansas City this upcoming weekend and in New England. Temperatures both places supposed to be cold. Kansas City expecting a wintry mix. That could be interesting.
Very much so. We're going to find out who can handle the elements as well as the opposition.
They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. From the 50, it's Smith. Toward the sideline, that's hauled in by Macklin. It's a gain of 21 that time. Good enough for a Kansas City first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And Hill with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll give the Chiefs a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
So 2nd and 10 here. Throwing again is Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Smith throwing again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Travis Kelce, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in a second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
10 yards on the pickup there, and that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a Turkey Bowl or Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them. I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. Both the Chiefs and the Steelers are passing the ball well, and that's led to a high-scoring game. We'll have to see if either secondary can step up in the second half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Steelers with the football early in the first will get a scramble and completion. And after the long pass, he'll score. Chiefs have it on 2nd and 5. Pass will be completed over the middle. And this play will go for 6. We go to the second quarter. Chiefs down now by 17. Roethlisberger's going to find his mark, and that goes as a 23-yard touchdown. The lead now at 24. Steelers with the ball early in the second.
So this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the third quarter. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
From the gun on third down, Smith, and he's got his man. That's Maclin. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff as they run left side. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Smith No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Ricardo Matthews in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. This is taken around the 12. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them?
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
That incompletion allows me to get this stat in. You ready? Playoff stat. Home teams were 0-4 in the wild card games last year. This time, they rolled, winning all 4 games by 13, 18, 20, and 25 points. That's 76 combined.
I love your math. How about that? Now, the teams that got beat, they don't like the math so much. But how about how that shapes up the divisional round matchups now? We've got some big-time games coming up in the NFL.
Top 4 seeds on each side. Going to be fun.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
He rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, and they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Partner, I know the ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10? And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drop.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2nd down following the run. Play action. It's Smith. Surveying the field. Great protection. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. With it is Brown. He won't go down. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
23 yards on the play.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Sliding out of the pocket. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Flush to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Darius Hayward-Bay, the intended receiver. And it brings up 4th down. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. Well, you know what we need to do? We need to give a hat tip to two guys that are riding off into the sunset. Steve Smith and Robert Mathis both have announced the end of their careers.
Let's start with Robert Mathis. You see all the tributes coming from around the league. Everyone talking about what an exceptional pro Robert Mathis has been throughout his career. And the guy has over...
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. 39 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
It's 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the offense. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Looking for someone to throw to. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
First down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And now it's 2nd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Over the middle here to Brown. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Charles, you think Big Ben is happy to have Antonio Brown on the other side of his passes?
You know he is, but he also expects it. This is how their offense runs best. When those two get together, especially early, and continue to do it throughout the game, the end result is the one that we're seeing right now. They're ahead on the board.
It has been early and often.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 5 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. He gets it to Brown, complete. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown from 4 yards out. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
And ready now for 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, to be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. He's got time. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And now it's 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there was a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it a second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the target.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. On third down, Roethlisberger eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be fourth down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Risky. And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
Second down now after the incompletion. Now they'll run on the draw. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Caught, Kelsey, left side. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So another 3 on the board there, and he's been a lone bright spot here. That's now 4 field goals.
And that's nice, but if this offense had finished a few more drives, we might be looking at a completely different ball game. Instead, when you're trading field goals for touchdowns, that's a losing proposition.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Now Roethlisberger escaping the pressure right. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. Now a first down carry by Bell. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
It's complete to Brown, right side. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big...
Now they're going to try this again. It's another fake. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. A big play there on the catch and run. And the Chiefs are going to get a fresh set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's a 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And Hill with it over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. 5 receivers in the game, 4 of them to the left side. From the red zone now, Smith. Can't find anyone open. And this is caught by Wilson. Chiefs touchdown. Albert Wilson, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Here's Smith looking to throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that someone, if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, 59 yards. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Off of play action, here's Smith. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Bud Dupree in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Now Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And the Steelers set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they...
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. The interception was they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And ready for 3rd and 6.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Now Smith. He's got time in the pocket. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Bud Dupree able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Set. Move 45. Move 45.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time we think of it as just being an open.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quick.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off William Gay. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted,
now Bell hit. He lost the football. Look at the big man rumble. The 30, the 20. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
3rd and goal now. Maybe the offensive coordinator thinking blitz here. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Spencer Ware, 15 yards. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. that could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
If they're out there, we'll see if they can pick those things back up.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
Big Ben, not the most agile quarterback in NFL history, but he can use those legs when he needs to.
He really can, and I think it starts with him taking contact and shedding people trying to get him on the ground. That's when he becomes the most elusive.
Yeah, something he honed back at the University of Miami in Ohio.
Yeah, but they didn't get him down in the MAC. It's hard to get him down in the NFL.
Second down and 4.
Hold on, guys. Hey, Aaron. Hey. Alex, isn't it? Hello, Alex. Playing Madden? Yeah. Wait, he still didn't pay it? Oh. Oh. Alex, I can invite Brian to the party. That's a sheet. Never mind. Oh, Aaron, I'll put Aaron on the mic real quick. What you call it? Are you, I thought you were gonna, I'm not trying to say the Billionaires. I thought you were gonna, pay your thing today. Force it. Are you, is Alex feeling the night? Oh. Okay. Flash me. Well, you know how to do a mod? Get up! Oh. Huh? Blue 45. Intercept. Hold on, let me replay that. That was good. Okay. Hey. Alright. Alright. Bye. What do you mean? 2 minutes warning. Le'Veon Bell. Oh. And them drugs come in handy. Last 9-7, but no, I'm not Randy. Huh. I'm just staying on my 8. And them drugs come in handy. No, I'm not ready. Oh, I'm just staying. I'm at 8. I won the game.
Looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They come out here in the eye. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Forced out to his left. Able to get away. That's why he keeps the legs chirping. And he's got his big tight end here. The Turtles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense. They can't help but feel great.
I won.
I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hard-working crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from Kansas City.